welcome to part 2 of this video series. In the first episode, we have reviewed the Sony RX100 Mark II, and in this episode, we're going to review the Sony RX Mark III. In the first video, I also showed you my setup, which I'm not going to take a video of that today, but I will put up a photo of what it looks like. I wanted to, while I have this camera, make a video similar to the one I made about the Mark II, so I could compare these two and just show you guys in general what to watch out for when you buy one used. I don't know if I said this in the last video, but I did purchase this for 155 euros, which is pretty cheap in my opinion. So as I said before, I've purchased this used on eBay, but I haven't had this for that long. I've had this for way longer, and I took this to Canada with me, so I have had a lot of pictures to show, but with this camera I don't have that many pictures. So I think I'll try and go around the house and get some pictures while I still have this camera, because I will be getting rid of this soon. I'll be selling it, and yeah, so I gotta act fast and take as many pictures as I can while I still have it. And maybe from the ones I do have, maybe I can show some of those, but I'll sprinkle them throughout the video so you can see what I'm talking about, as I did in the last video. Now, I've made a different video on this camera already about how to open it, because this has a issue where it does not open or close properly, except if you do it exactly the way I did it now. I can show you. If I just press this power button, it does not open correctly. It does not open correctly. Well, you can then zoom, and it has gotten a lot better. So this is probably the first point I want to talk about, is when you buy one of these cameras, especially one that says that it's broken or they don't know what condition it is in, because in my case he didn't have the specific battery for this model, and so he said he doesn't know if it's still working and that I would be buying this at my own risk, which I said was okay with me, so I went ahead and bought it. And then I saw that the lens had some issues. As you can see, it's not fully coming out on it by itself, and it's also not closing correctly without help. But as shown in the other video, there's a very simple fix to this, and what I do is I simply put it on the table and it fully extends again. For everything that I don't specifically mention about this camera that I've talked about in the last video, you can assume that it's the same, especially when talking about video and photo and general things like the quality still being great. If the Mark II is great, then the Mark III also is great. Now let's conclude the review of my specific device that I've purchased used. It does have a little dent in here. You can see it probably fell on something, but you can see the flash still comes out. And also, let me open the camera, it also does work perfectly. Now, this model also has a viewfinder, which is pretty cool. I don't think the camera will be able to look through it. Nope. Oh, yeah. Actually, it does work. Pretty cool feature. Not something I would say is super necessary, but it would have been nice to have this in Canada when shooting outside during bright daylight. But it wasn't a deal breaker. As you can see, this model has some issues with the lens, but nothing you can't fix, just like that, and it fully extracts again. And then retracting also does work perfectly. The display is clean, pretty much no scratches on here. This piece is missing, but I've just put a sticker over that to make it look cleaner. Ports work, battery, SD card, pretty much everything works. And what's the coolest is, oh, forgot about it, but still did work. What's the coolest is probably the display, and especially when thinking about buying this camera to shoot videos with, this is the main selling point of this camera over the Mark II, because this fold-out display is super handy. But then again, as a video camera, I would not recommend this 100%, because this still is a photo camera first and video camera second. So always keep that in mind. You get the classic Sony mode switcher here, pretty cool. The zoom is also great and perfectly fine enough. I mean, this does have a bit more zoom, I believe, but nothing that's like would limit you of using this, because I mean, even if the lens is a bit bigger and does extract a little further, it's not like you're gonna get a lot of zoom with any of these models. So that's not really something I've noticed or have found that I've missed. If we go in the settings, it's also pretty similar. So this review is gonna be a lot shorter than the first one. If you're interested in the Mark II or just in more details about these cameras in general, the RX100, you can watch the first part of this series. It's a pretty good video, and you'll get a lot more information. You'll see the menu is slightly different, but if you actually click into the settings menu, you get to pretty much the same page. It's just a bit more modern, I would say. So for the third part of this video, I will just go around the house and I will find some things I can photograph, and then I'll compare these two cameras so you can get a direct comparison. And with that, we will wrap up the video. If you have any other questions regarding these models, let me know in the comments and I will do a follow-up video on that. I can't promise that I'll still have these cameras, but I still obviously will remember specific things. Like if you ask me the frame rates these shoot in, the file formats, if you can use them with HDMI, for example. That's something I've tried, which isn't too great. You can do it with both. They both have an HDMI port, micro, is it micro or mini HDMI? I think micro HDMI port, but the Mark II has an overlay that you can disable. You can do clean output, clean HDMI on the Mark III, but it is limited and you can't do it with all, or you can't do it forever and the lens might close, etc., etc. if you're not taking a video. So using it as a webcam is not optimal. You can also not use the Image Edge webcam app, so that's something to keep in mind. And again, if you have specific questions, let me know in the comments. I'll make sure to respond, and then if we get enough questions, I will make a video talking about these specific points in detail. So with that being said, let's now go ahead and take some pictures and videos with both cameras and put them up side by side. Okay, so I've shot a few pictures and you can see the Sony RX100 Mark III on the left and the Mark II on the right. As you can see, the angles are slightly different. I tried to keep it as similar as possible, but obviously that was not possible. I had to put one camera down and pick up the other camera. I would say in conclusion, this test isn't that good, if I'm honest, because I've switched between manual mode and auto mode. And I should have just stuck to auto mode, because that way you could at least compare the different auto modes of the cameras. But with this, I changed the settings individually, which you would have to with the different apertures. But this just doesn't let us compare the cameras really well. What you can say though is that I messed up some shots, and so it always comes down to who's taking the photos and how skilled you are, more than the difference between these cameras actually is. So a better photographer could do way better pictures with the Mark II than a noob with the Mark III, I would say. To conclude this, you could say these have so infinitesimal quality differences that if you want to see
The quality, you can watch my other video on the Mark II where I have a lot more pictures, a lot better pictures because I was actually outside. I took my time to take these pictures with the right settings and could focus on one camera. And I think with the Mark II pictures, you can kind of get an idea of what the Mark III pictures will look like. And then if you watch the rest of the video, you obviously also know the different kind of settings or options you have with the viewfinder, for example, and the fold-out display. Those are really the points that set these cameras apart and not the quality, I would say. Okay, so I want to end this video with a note. I received my camera and I had to film this video straight away, the ZV-1, and I just had to film this video straight away. And in hindsight, that was a big mistake because I didn't get the settings right and I just started shooting in auto mode and it stopped recording after 5 minutes. I just didn't have any setting set up right. Then the microphone, I connected the microphone, but for some reason it didn't accept it and it recorded with the internal microphone. And that is the biggest issue with this video. That's why the audio sounds so bad, because it takes the audio from the camera, which isn't that bad, but for some reason the camera was pretty loud and you could hear that, so I had to filter that out so you could understand me clearly and hear my voice. And that just sounds horrible. But I thought I already have this video recorded, the cameras are gone, I can't record this video again, and it might still be helpful for someone. So I decided to finish this video and upload it still. Yeah, this is just a note. My future videos and my past videos have been better and will be better. So yeah, the new camera was supposed to give me better quality, but ironically this video has gotten tremendously worse in quality. But rest be assured, the next video will be super nice quality because I finally got the settings down, I got the microphone connected, and from now on out, it is a complete viewing pleasure. With that being said, leave a like if you still enjoyed this video, subscribe if you don't want to miss the higher quality videos in the future, and that being said, I'll see you in the next one.